How's everyone doing right now? Meow. I think that we've all made it a long way through this semester, and now I think it's time that we should all start to wind down. Do you like this filter? This is my daughter's favorite. She loves it. Okay, you've done it. You've pretty much made it to the last week-ish, kind of. There's a little bit next week, but really you should just see it as additional days for you to finish your final assignment. So here's what we're going to do today in our announcements. I'm going to go over what you need to do for your assignment, for your grade for the week. We are going to talk about how you are going to do your class evaluations. I'm going to show you a few small changes I made to the Blackboard page just to simplify it, which hopefully will help some of your questions that have been coming in. And then a last encouragement from me for you to submit everything. Submit all the things. Okay, so let's look at our Blackboard page. Week 14. So we do have some more text this week. It's the last podcast in the 1619 podcast series. So Land of Our Fathers parts 1 and 2. That is the only thing you're really engaging with this week. So there's not a specific assignment related to that podcast. So keep that in mind. If you really just want to buckle down this week and start working on your essay, you are more than welcome to do that. But ultimately, I wanted to leave that last podcast up there so you could finish the series. And if you wanted to use those specific episodes for your final research project, you are more than welcome to do that. Okay? So explore those podcasts as part 1 and part 2. You're going to look at the research-based argument, directions, and rubric, which we're going to do here in just a second. Look at thesis statements and body paragraphs to kind of familiarize yourself with the process that we've been doing all year long, and using the library databases, which should be a review from Comp 1 and earlier in the class as well. Okay? So create. You're going to complete the peer review discussion board and respond to a classmate's post. So once again, you find this in the usual ways that we've been doing our assignments. And for the peer review, you're going to be submitting whatever it is that you have for your final essay. It's going to be in a rough draft phase, obviously, for critique from your peers. And get ready to submit next week. And we'll talk about what that looks like here in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. As you can see, I kind of simplified this. If you're looking for older assignments that you need to turn in or other resources from past weeks, you're going to look right here. I've also dumped some more helpful resources for writing help and other resources that TCC offers. So click on that there too if you need it. Okay, so week 14, here we go. So once again, here are all the links. Let's look at research-based argument, directions, and rubric. All right. Boop, boop. All right. Let me make sure you can see this a little bit better. Okay, so the core things, I'll let you read over this in your own time. The core reasons why we want to make sure we research a tech is to build knowledge, understand issues, prove lives and support truths, promote a love for reading, writing, thinking, sharing, and nourishing and exercising your mind. So here's what you've got to do. You've got to choose a particular text from Unit 3. You can do any one of the 1619 episodes. You can do The Negro Speaks of Rivers by Langston Hughes. You can do Sonny's Blues by James Baldwin. Let America Be America Again by Langston Hughes, or Letter from a Birmingham Jail by Martin Luther King Jr. Okay? So after exploring all of the assigned resources about your final essay, compose a thesis statement that examines the argument concerning race in a particular text and make an argument for 1, why people should care about this issue, and 2, how the text contributes to your understanding of the issue. Okay? So there are 2 primary things that you're doing. So once again, what you've got to do is figure out what is the text arguing, which you should have done with the discussion board post from weeks prior, right? What is the text arguing? And then, once you have discerned what that argument is, you have to answer, why should people care about that issue? And how did that text help your understanding of what the issue is? Okay? Does it make sense? Now, you're going to compose a 1,500 to 2,000 word research paper that explores the text and answers all the aspects of the prompt, right? Those things right there. You must use at least 3 quotes from your chosen text, meaning that I should have 3 quotes from the text that your paper is over. And then you must use quotes from at least 3 outside sources to support your argument that you have gathered from TCC's databases. Oh, there's a typo right there. I don't know what happened. Sorry. Okay, so 3 outside sources. Make sense? And we'll go over how to use those databases again if you're still a little bit confused, or you can look back in previous weeks' videos to know how to do that. Okay, so 3 outside sources. So now if you've already looked up outside sources for your discussion board posts and have some of those, you can use those again. That's perfectly fine. So the format, make sure your paper is in MLA format with correct in-text citations and a proper works cited page. So many of you are really struggling with doing that correctly. If you're unsure about how to do a works cited page or in-text citations, go to helpful resources, writing resources, look at the MLA handbook, look at OWL Purdue citations. Those are going to help you out. Okay? Make sure you explore those. Do not miss points for something that simple. And once again, it's the same rubric that we've been using over and over and over. Okay? All right, now, if you are struggling with how to use the TCC databases, once again, use this resource right here using library databases. That will help you out a lot. If you want to go through the helpful links page, helpful resources rather, you'll see the TCC library and databases right there. You can click on it and you can browse here. That really helpful one that we liked a lot, if you click on by subject list of databases, click that drop down menu, and you've got these bolded categories, remember? You're going to scroll down until you get to literature, criticism, and interpretation. And Bloom's literature is really good. So I would use that to search for a particular author, something like that. If you want to search for a particular issue, whether it's, I don't know, mass incarceration or the civil rights movement, something like that, a really helpful set of databases you can use is under news and controversial issues. I really like Gale and Context, Opposing Viewpoints. That one's really good. Issues and Controversies is really good too. So if you're searching for something specific like racism in America, mass incarceration, the civil rights movements, the Harlem Renaissance, things like that, that's a really good resource for you to use. Okay? All right. So that's pretty much what's going on this week. And then what you need to do after you've started to compose all of those things, let's click back on week 14, you have to submit your rough draft for peer review. Okay? All right. So it looks kind of long, but I'm just giving you a lot of examples here. So make sure you've explored all the resources before starting this week's assignment. This week you will paste your thesis statement and at least 3 body paragraphs for your classmates to critique. So thesis statement, 3 body paragraphs. That's what you're writing this week. It's a lot, right? But you're not focusing on any other specific assignment this week. There's no template for a body paragraph. There's not even a text that you're reading other than your research. Okay? So after exploring all the assigned resources about your final essay, compose a thesis statement that examines the argument concerning race in a particular text and make an argument for why people should care and how it contributes to your understanding of the issue. And here I just give you a basic outline of what that would look like. So you've got your TAD thesis. All these things together will comprise your thesis statement, and then your body paragraphs, essentially what they should do and where you're getting those ideas from. Okay, so finally, comment on a classmate's post in 100 words or more by quoting parts of their text that highlight 3 things they do well and 3 things they can do to improve. Okay, please notice those things. So you should have 6 things in your comment, right? 3 that did well, 3 that did not do well. Or I won't say that, 3 things they can improve upon. All right, sound good? The next thing that we're going to talk about is something that you have to do for your course evaluation. And I'm going to attach in this email some screenshots of where to go to do this. But it's just something that you do that helps me out and it helps TCC out. So click on course evaluation right there, and that should take you right to it. Sometimes that link has a little bit of trouble for some reason, and I'm not sure why. So another thing you can do is you can go in through Blackboard, right? Or through WebAdvisor, I'm sorry. So I'm going to click on WebAdvisor right here. And once you're in through WebAdvisor, click on Students right here. And once again, I'll attach some screenshots for this. And then you'll see a button right there that says Evaluate Your Courses. So you'll click on that. I'm not enrolled in any courses, obviously. So that will let you get. Please make sure that you complete that before class is over. Alrighty? Okay, so that's the whole shebang. The last thing I want to leave you all with is an encouragement to please, 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 please submit your assignments. Submit your assignments. If they're late, submit them. If you just didn't get around to them, submit them. Submit, submit, submit. There's no need for you to email me all these things that came up. Times are crazy. I really do. I get it. I know that you're not just sitting at home binging Netflix. I know so many of you are working right now. A lot of you are in essential businesses. I know that a lot of you are having to take up slack at the house. I know there's so many issues going on. Believe me, I am with you. The one thing that you've got to do is you've got to submit. You've got to get everything turned in. Okay, so if you look right here, this week of class, this term is going to end on May 3rd, right? So that is a Sunday. Your final essay next week is not a full week. It is not a full week. You have 2 more days after the end of this week to get it done. So that means that you have to turn this in on Tuesday, May 5th, your final essay. That's your deadline. So I need to have your final essay in by May 5th and any other assignments, right? If I do not have those by 11:59 p.m. on May 5th, then I can't grade them. I can't give you points because that's like the latest that I can get everything in and submit them into TCC to give you your grade. So please keep that in mind. Okay? Get everything to me by May 5th at 11:59. Everything. Get everything in. All the stuff. Even if it's pre-quarantine lockdown, submit. Submit, 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 submit. Okay? No need to email me explaining. Just submit. Just submit. I'm going to be very gracious and kind. These are wild times. Okay? Look at me in my laser cat eyes. All right? I am on your side. I want to help you. Submit. Okay? Drop in for office hours if you need to on Google Hangouts. I create another link there to make it easier. Office hours and communication. You can look there for any other way you need to get in contact with me. I'm on your side. Y'all, we've got, 9 days left of this? Finish strong. Finish strong. You got this. You're wonderful, amazing human beings. I'm on your side. Stay well. Have a great week.